Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be checking out the 4-2-3-1 formation for FIFA 21. Let's get started. In regards to custom tactics with the 4-2-3-1, you always want to start off on the basic instructions and tactics. So we're looking at balance 5 and 5, balance 5 and 5. The reason why you want to start off this way is because you want to understand and utilize the attacking AI as much as possible due to the players that you have in your team. I wouldn't recommend putting players in the box any lower because attacking AI in this game is significantly better than it has been in previous years. So the way that they utilize empty space is incredible. In regards to instructions for the 4-2-3-1 to start off, it's always ideal to put your fullbacks on stay back while attacking, your CDMs on stay back while attacking cover center, stay back while attacking cover center or cut passing lanes, or you just have them on just cover center, right? And we're going to be getting into this in a little bit over here. In regards to your three cams, we have them on basic instructions. You can totally tell them to come back in defense, especially your left attacking mid or right attacking mid, if you notice that your opponent is attacking the sides significantly, right? If you feel like your fullbacks are not really offering that much support, you're going to have your left and right attacking mids coming back in defense and occupying those runs, especially if they have the right work rates, like a high work rate. They do a really good job of marking those runs. Your cam usually is on basic instructions. You can totally put him on stay forward. That's usually something that people like to do so that when they win the ball in the defensive areas, they can kind of kick the ball out and then progress forward with the play, especially if your attackers are all on balanced instructions. With Porto, he's the one that's playing as my cam, and we're going to be getting into all these specifics, right? In regards to the strikers, we have him on balance as well. So this is how you should start off with the 4-2-3-1. Balance for the striker. The cams, you should just keep on balance as well. And then the CDMs you should have on stay back while attacking cover center and then cut passing lanes, right? Usually an ideal thing for this game, in my opinion, and then stay back while attacking for the fullbacks. Now, let's get into the actual formation and how it plays and how the characteristic of your players is going to be very important for how to use this formation. So with the fullbacks, guys, I feel like it's very important that in every position, not just the fullbacks, I think pace is very important for you to get into certain spaces really quickly, defensively and attacking wise. The reason why Jesus Navas is a player that people are using a lot right now is because he's a fast player that can dribble and pass the ball. I feel like personally that in this year's game, the dribbling and the passing stats are very important for the fullbacks. But with Jesus Navas' card, you're also taking a look at someone that has base defensive qualities as well as base pace, so that when I give him the shadow chemistry style, he has 99 acceleration, 94 sprint speed, while also boosting his already pretty decent defensive stats. Yes, he will be lacking in the physical aspect of his card, but he's going to be responsive for you, especially if people are going to be using the team press tactic, okay? So that's what the fullbacks. Fullbacks, high work rates, high medium work rates. Those are usually the ideal ones. But you can see that Haps doesn't offer those same exact characteristics, but he's kind of like the cheaper option in regards to putting him in your team, because you can take a look at his dribbling, reactions, ball control, dribbling, and composure, not necessarily up to par, as well as the actual passing stat itself. But if you take a look at Jesus Navas, base dribbling stats look great, passing stats look great for a fullback. You're looking at a very solid fullback to use in that area. In regards to using him on stay back while attacking or balance instructions, in my opinion, when it comes to using fullbacks, you don't often want them to cut inside. It's usually not necessarily an ideal thing unless they offer a very good attacking presence. Now I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. With the fullbacks, it's always best to use them on overlap, in my opinion, so that they utilize those side positions. Now, the instructions of your fullbacks will really heavily depend on the types of cams that you have on the side. So let's just say, for instance, right, if I'm using a player like Ansu Fati, who strictly feels like a winger, playing in this left wing position, right, on balance instructions, I personally don't like him that much there, because all he does is run in a straight line. The running in a straight line attacking AI in the left cam position is okay depending on the situation of the game, and you will see what I'm talking about through these highlights. But when it comes to a player like Ansu Fati and using him on the sides in the cam positions, you have to give him the free roam instruction. So you can see right here, this is the free roam instruction right here. When you give him free roam, it allows the player to move from his position to other positions of the pitch. And when you have free roam, because the attacking AI is actually very helpful this year, it's ideal to use free roam when those characteristics are a thing for the left cam and you don't specifically want him to always run straight. Now notice that when I have a player on free roam in the left attacking mid position, my fullback on balanced instructions and overlap will now occupy that position when my left cam is no longer there. So I have all of this attacking threat moving all over the place in the middle, but then I also have the overcommitting fullback to create that space for me on the side, and then wait for my left attacking mid and my right attacking mid to get inside the 18-yard box to score the opportunities. It is a very ideal thing to do in this game. It's an ideal thing to do in this game is the get into the box for the cross. As you guys know, when a fullback overcommits and you pass that general area and you use that R1 cross thing, right? So R1 or RB and then you just press the cross button. If your players are getting into the box with your tactics set on 5 or 4, they will get into those positions really nicely, especially if you open up the pitch really nicely as well, right? So it's very, very important to understand the balance of your left attacking mid and your fullbacks. Like kind of like Marcelo and Ronaldo in real life, right? Like the way that they kind of play off each other benefits the team greatly if you set them up the right way. So that's a very, very important thing. For me personally, I like my left attacking mids and right attacking mids to play well on the balance instruction. An example of this is Pepe's card from Arsenal. If I play Pepe in the right attacking mid position, Pepe is not the type of card that only consistently runs in a straight line. He's the type of player that will make those cut inside runs because that is a base characteristic that he has on the balance instruction playing in the right attacking mid position. I think Salah is also very similar in the sense where he likes to cut inside a lot. But if I feel like I don't want him to cut inside and I want him to play differently, sometimes it works in the opposite way for those players. So sometimes you actually want to give them a free roam and they don't always in a linear manner cut inside constantly, right? So sometimes it's ideal to always put the free roam tactics to fix whatever you want your players to do in those situations. Now, like I said, guys, it's not always a bad situation to have your left attacking mid and right attacking mids running in a straight line because there's a lot of situations where if you keep them on balanced instructions and you notice that your opponent is overcommitting with his fullbacks, you can keep these guys on balanced instructions, use the L3, R3 switch, and use the attacking AI to make those daunting runs forwards with the fullback into position because then you're just going to be through on goal, especially if you have the pace in those positions. Ideal work rates to have in the left attacking mid and right attacking mid position is high, medium, high work rates. But the most important thing is understanding the base characteristics of your players first. Play a classic match, play division rivals, look at the way that he's moving, and then fix your instructions due to what he offers in the team, right? So very, very important. If I had Ansu Fati playing the left attacking mid position, I would have my balance on, I would have my fullbacks on balance. I would probably use a different player to have, so maybe like a Talifico or something. I would use Haps on balance, overlap, and then I would have Ansu Fati on free roam. So if he wants to cut inside, he could, but then I can still make that that space on the sides whenever given the opportunity to. So again, very important to understand the dynamics between both positions because it's never like a one-to-one thing where every player is going to, perform the exact same way. With CDMs, guys, it's very interesting because we have cut pass lanes, cover center, and stay back while attacking most of the times with these CDMs. But what I've actually noticed in this game is sometimes because of the attacking AI being so good, it's actually ideal to keep them on their base characteristics. And their base characteristics on cover center will just be their work rates and how they choose to move on the pitch. And you'll notice in some of the highlights that I'm going to show you guys from the highlights that I got, that when I have my CDMs on balance instructions, they will make those daunting runs forward. It's actually not as big of a deal, and at first I thought it was. It's not as big of a deal to have a 3-star player in the left center defensive mid position. It is ideal to have the 4-star weak foot or the left foot on the left side, in my opinion. Like using a Fred there is a really nice thing because you guys will see how the way he moves on the pitch. But if you don't have it, it's not a big deal because a 3-star weak foot, if you get into a good position inside the 18-yard box, decent base shooting stats, they will actually bang into the back of the net. And this is big credit to EA for their finishing mechanics because it's actually pretty solid this year, to be fair, right? But with the CDMs, it really just depends on the situation of the game. If you feel like your CDMs are not offering enough in regards to attacking, play them on their base characteristics on balance instructions, just cover center, and they will move into the space when given the opportunity to, and your players around that will also commit to that as well. Now, the thing that you have to be careful with is that when you put balance on CDMs and you have your fullbacks like Haps on balance instructions overlap, sometimes you're a little bit too attacking and it leaves you very, very vulnerable. That's why it's kind of ideal to have a CDM, at least one, that is a medium high or low high oriented CDM, so that even on base characteristics like these instructions right here, he'll most of the time stay back. Like Tonali is that type of card that if I have him on balance instructions, he'll rarely make that run forward, but he'll do it if he sees the space open from time to time, right? So these types of players are very, very nice to have, and these are characteristics that we analyze every time we do CDM reviews or whatever, because it's very important to understand what a player offers on balance instructions or stay back while attacking. So the base one, stay back while attacking, cut pass lanes, cover center, but in general, it just depends on the situation of the game, right? But try to have the good work rates, high work rates, medium high work rates. You could get a high medium, but then you have to kind of balance the other one with a medium high or high, or else the balance will be a little bit off in your team. Now, in regards to the cam position, it's very strange in this year's game because sometimes for some of the players, you actually have to put them on stay forward so that they stay in the middle when building up the play, because I've noticed sometimes that when I have players on basic instructions, they often move to the sides when I don't want them to, right? And it's, again, this really depends on the base characteristics of a player. Like, for instance, Fekir likes to move to the sides a lot when I feel like it's very unnecessary for him to move to the sides. And that's when you have to figure out, okay, what instructions do I want to put on my cam to kind of build up the play properly? Because one of the instructions for the cam position is stick to position. But if your player doesn't stick to his position because his base characteristic is to go to the side constantly when you don't need it, that's something that you have to fix. Again, sometimes free roam is the fix for that, okay? So you could see that on the default position, he could drift wide. It could be a basic characteristic. I personally like Porto a lot playing in the cam position because of the high work rates that he has. So sometimes he'll actually attack, he'll get into good positions from time to time, and then he'll also offer me this defensive presence on high work rates coming back, even just on basic instruction. Sometimes I like to have my cams on comeback and defense and not my left or right attacking mids, because sometimes when your left and right attacking mids are on balance instructions and their characteristics are more attacking oriented, you kind of find yourself on the counter often, especially if they overcommit those fullbacks, like I was saying earlier, right? So the instructions in the cam position, it could be comeback and defense. You can have them on stay on the edge of the box for the cross if you feel like you don't need the center cam to do that. I think it's better to just keep them on basic, but it just depends on the situation of the game. Again, guys, there is no concrete one tactic thing that is always going to consistently work. I feel like tactics and formations are very important in regards to the results that you get. Last but not least, we have the striker. Striker is really going to depend on base characteristics as well. When I was using João Felix, when I was using Richarlison's card, they have very similar base characteristics. They like to run to the side and run in behind the goal, or run behind the defense. When they do that, it has to be a personal preference whether you want that player to do that himself or whether you want to control the runs yourself with the new attacking AI stuff, right? So on basic instructions for Richarlison, it's good to analyze how he wants to move just with the basic to see if he often moves to the side and how my three cams respond to him moving to the sides as well. In this game, sometimes it's ideal, in my opinion, to have drift wide and get in behind. The reason for this, especially if you have a very good cam playing in through the middle, is because when you're in the attacking areas, right, and your player decides to get in behind and drift wide, if you make that initial pass into the 18-yard box, your cam, if he attacks the empty space really well, will utilize that middle position and kind of like cut inside really nicely. And I noticed Porto doing that a lot when I was using João Felix with him. So because João Felix and Richarlison's base characteristics are already to drift wide and get in behind, forced more with the actual instructions, Porto will play off of that, and then when he makes that pass, he'll try to utilize the empty space quickly. And then that way, you know, you can decide to make the pass. You can kind of fake out your opponent and pretend like you're going to make the pass and score the opportunity. Really depends on what you decide to do. But I did notice that a lot when I was using players like Richarlison or João Felix in the team. So that's pretty much it for the 4-2-3-1, guys. It is a formation that is very strange. It works and it doesn't work at the same time. You have to really figure out the base characteristics of your players and what they specifically want to do in your club playing in this formation. Understanding how they play, which positions they prefer, like Ansu Fati feels like a strict winger on balance instructions. in a 4-2-3-1, since he runs in a straight line, you kind of have to change those instructions. So it really depends on the players that you have and how you want to play the game. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you guys some highlights in regards to how the team moves, and you'll notice as I'm playing the game that I'm analyzing how a player moves and what I want him to do, but it's just me being self-critical because it's very important to see how your players move in regards to a better attacking AI. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.
Ansu Fati. Marcos Llorente has it. Could play it in. It's neat passing, confidence on the ball.
Fakir's that's why I don't like him. It's because he keeps moving to the side. I figured it out now, chat. That's why I don't like him. I figured it out. You guys see how Fakir keeps moving to the side? No.
So see some entertainment. Anderson Talisca.
Let's go, Talisca. Already starting off hot, boys.
Trying to carve out the equaliser. Douglas Costa. Now Teixeira. Partey. And a chance to level it. And he's done it. Partey. It's with Anderson Talisca. Paulinho. Useful looking position, you've got to say. Opportunity. Surely. And a goal! And you've got to say they definitely took a deflection off the defender.
Come on, boys.
He's going forward well here. Alan. Here is Fred. David Neres. And will they be able to play it in behind the defence? Brilliant piece of skill. Can he give them the advantage? Big chance it is. And that... Jesus Navas. Lucas with it. Richarlison. David Neres. Haps with it. David Neres. Chance to cross. David Neres. Richarlison. Can he give them the advantage? And a goal! 1-0 it is. They've been pushing for the opener. Well, time is against them. They have work to do. It was a fine-looking attack, but now they've given the ball away. There will be 1 minute added on at the end. Richarlison. Oh, terrific pass. This could square the game. And it has! In the wide defensive areas, Wilfred Ndidi plays alongside Abdoulaye Doucouré in central midfield. And they line up with just the one striker looking to do a bit of damage. This is looking threatening. Lucas Moura. Can he put them in front? It's still alive.
I deserve that, child. Take that.
Second chance. Disappointment for the keeper. No wonder he's asking questions of his defence. Well, he needed to read it to get there, and did. Fred. Haps. And here's Alan. Richarlison. Oh, he's given it. Penalty, I think, and the referee's making that absolutely clear.
I like that.
A goal! Well, terrific skill. Fred. And now Alan. Fred. There it is. 2 to the good now, and that gives them a buffer. Richarlison. It's with Alan. Lucas. Well, they need to get tighter. Untidy, Lucas. Lucas Moura. Oh, left his man behind here. And a goal to settle the issue. It was a menacing attack, but tidied up. And the pass could do damage. And he's in. Can he convert? And a goal to give them the lead. Fred. David Neres. Good vision. Can he get onto this? It has to be, surely. Promes! Fred with it. David Neres. Will it be? And it goes! A 3-goal cushion. And teammates to play it to. And the referee...
Getting there. Love to see the improvement from yesterday. Yeah, we're getting there, man. It's tactics, it's formations, it's a lot of stuff, dude.
And he slots it home.